Hello friends, today we discuss on time series analysis or time series forecasting. So forecast is the aim, making sense out of the past data, reading them, reading through them, making sense of only the relevant data and differentiating between the useful and non-useful data and arriving at the forecasts for the future is the aim of time series analysis. So your data must maybe speaking something loud enough for you to guess the movement of a particular series in future. Your data might be hiding some important information that requires further investigation so that you can make a forecast for the future. It's important to understand at this stage, why do you want to do time series analysis? The why is a question which should be addressed at the initial. You see, the times are changing. Times were always challenging for businesses. Now the times are changing even more. Every day in the newspaper or on the television, what is it that catches your attention? The forecasts have been revised by Nomura or any other credit rating for India. Let's say last few days we have been hearing that GDP forecast for India is negative, and it is further revised to -3, -2.5. So every day when we wake up, we want to see the movement of the GDP as a time series, which some credit rating agency using some mathematical model is making projections for. We are in India or outside, we are all the stakeholders. Our stake is involved on GDP working good. Our stake is affected, our interests are affected if the GDP does not do well, does not give good numbers. If it goes down, it becomes negative. All of us will be affected, some more, some will be less. Some today, some later. So it's important for us to understand the movement of various variables, GDP being one of them. We want to know the movement of Sensex. I want to know the movement of foreign institutional investments which are coming to India, or net foreign institutional investments. I want to know the exchange rate fluctuations. I want to know about the gold prices which are increasing. I want to know about, let's say, oil prices, right? I want to know about the overall trade, right? So these are the things that I want to know on a daily basis, because everybody's interest is inherent in it. I want to know about the unemployment data. I want to know about inflation rates. And people don't stick to their forecast. Then what is happening? If you say you are a big credit rating agency and you employ all kind of intelligent minds, and you are making a forecast as serious as projecting for a country's GDP or unemployment or inflation rate, etc., etc., what happens to you after another 10 or 15 days? You say what we forecasted, we are revising it now. Does that mean you have done some mistake in the past that you are correcting, or there is something else with respect to the data analysis which is making them do and redo their forecast? Yes. Because of influence of several factors in the economic environment nowadays, things have become so volatile. Things are changing with every minute. There is an inflow of news, and in fact it completely affects the stock market. There is another news anticipation which is coming up. It really brings down the stock market the moment it reaches the ears of the investors. So things are becoming too much volatile. People want to know what is in store for them in future. It was always there. Now, at this present time, it has become even more important to at least have some idea as to the direction so that they can save their positions. They can safeguard themselves from hitting the negatively getting hit, right? So these are the times of saving yourselves as investors, as government, as individuals, as customers, or whatever. But since we are dealing with financial analytics, let's just step into the shoes of an investor. As an investor or a company whose stake is affected by all these things which are happening around us, he needs to make forecast. Not to make stupendous profits, or maybe just to safeguard himself from the volatility which can negatively affect. Negative effects of wrong decision making which you do today. The repercussions, we as businessmen or as investors are not in a position to take or put more to stake now, right? So now in these present times, the forecasting is very important. There are revisions of forecast which are made by the most intelligent brains. That means there is something which is happening in the area of within the data capturing itself, as well as something which is happening in the economic environment which is affecting them or which is making them revise their forecast. Okay, so I'm sure I have established that why you have to forecast all series. Coming to the company needs to forecast their sales. They need to forecast their expenses, their margins, right? They need to forecast, they need to have an understanding of how much can they take a setback in terms of negative profits which can come. So those kind of forecasts need to be done. So all different series, like sales is a different time series, profits can be considered as a different time series, definitely captured over a quarterly gap, okay, not captured on a daily basis. The price of stocks of those companies into the stock market, right, which can be captured daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. That is also a point of concern for company specific environment. Okay, so this is where the significance of time series analysis is established. It's very important, but you need to be very careful of what is a noise and what is a signal. Okay, so I introduced two terms here. These are very important to understand not only time series analysis, but finance, in the area of finance, and understanding the investor's perspective as well. An investor, a smart investor, is one who can differentiate between the signal and noise, right? So you have to be careful of noise, but noise is not bad always. In context to data analytics, noise has to be placed at the stage of model building, and noise has a relevance at the stage of model diagnosis. Okay, so coming back to noise here, keep that noise word in your mind. Let me show you a simple equation. Don't be these equations should never disturb us. Okay, these are complex way of writing very simple things. Okay, equation or a model. When again and again we say time series modeling, financial modeling, econometric modeling. So modeling, so when this is a very heavy term and a very smart term that we hear in the area of analytics, right? And for us as finance students and people, practitioners in the area of finance, our entire forecasting builds up on a model. Okay, so what is a model? Model is nothing but equating the left hand side with the right hand side. Writing an equation, trying to equate the left hand side of an equation with the right hand side of the equation. Please look at the screen. The screen also has a left hand side and a right hand side. Okay, so let's simplify model. Model is a relationship between and trying to equate one or more than one variables on the left and right hand side of an equation. Simple. That is called as a modeling or writing an equation. Okay, so look, see this equation here. It says yt is equal to beta naught of b0 plus b1 t plus et. Okay. What's happening here is beta naught and beta 1. Beta naught is called as the intercept. For the time being, just accept it as intercept. We will see what that means later. Beta 1 is known as slope. Okay, accept that as it is. Beta naught and beta 1 are the outcome of any analysis that you run either to SPSS or R or SAS or Excel or any other software. What goes into the software is the data points, which is T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. Data points which are captured on T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, right? So what is getting in the software is time series. What the software gives you out is these beta naught and beta 1. Intercept and the slope is the outcome. In the subsequent sessions, we will see what they convey. But for the time being, what we have to understand is a time series, a univariate time series analysis